Get ready to dive into the thrilling what-if scenario of Deku traveling back in time, joined by the mysterious Yui. Part 1 kicks off an epic adventure you won't want to miss. We see Izuku in the air with Eri on his back facing Overhaul, also known as Chisaki. Izuku, so this is what 100% Ofa feels like. Eri, please lend me your power. Together, we'll defeat Chisaki. Eri nods as she uses her quirk. Chisaki, you'll never defeat me. He lunges towards Izuku and Eri. Izuku, hold on tight, Eri. This might get rough. He dodges and lands several punches. Chisaki, what? He thinks as he reconstructs his damaged parts. Izuku throws several punches to propel himself through the air. Once above Chisaki, this is the end for you, Chisaki. He unleashes a barrage of punches with 100% Ofa, sending Chisaki crashing to the ground, creating a huge crater. Izuku, once on the ground, I think Pant we're done Pant, he says haltingly but suddenly begins to feel intense pain. Ugh. What's happening? Is it Eri's quirk? Eri. It's all over now. You don't have to use your quirk. He says with concern as he looks at Eri on his back. Eri, I can't stop it, she says tearfully, feeling some pain herself. Izuku, darn it, Eri, everything will be fine. I'm here. He hugs Eri. Eri, no. Stay away. I don't want to hurt you. She sobs. Izuku, I'll be here. I won't leave you alone again. He says as he hugs Eri, noticing that her arms no longer have scars. I don't like this. If this continues, I'll disappear. But I won't leave her alone. Mirio, arriving at the scene, injured from his previous battle, Midoriya. Izuku, stay back, Tagata. Eri's quirk is out of control. Where's Eraser? Mirio, he's unconscious due to blood loss, at a safe distance. Izuku, darn it, he won't wake up. I'm sorry, Eri, I have to let go of you. Please hold on. As he separates from Eri, her quirk continues to take effect. But how? Then he hears laughter. Chisaki, half conscious, he, now you'll cease to exist. That's why Eri's quirk is a curse. Because of her, you'll die. His words pierce Izuku's mind, causing him to faint instantly. Izuku, it can't be. I guess there's no salvation, huh? Approaching Eri and embracing her once more, at least I'll go knowing I saved Eri. Mirio, Midoriya. Eri, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sobbing and clinging to the green-haired hero. Izuku, shh, don't lament. Be strong. Train this quirk so this doesn't happen again. Be happy and smile because those who smile are the strongest. He gives Eri a warm smile as she cries, Tagata, he calls to him, I want you to do me one last favor. He plucks a hair, take this and give it to All Might. Tell him I'm sorry for this and that I choose you as his successor. He'll understand. And please go to my room, under the bed there's a box with letters. They're addressed to certain people, you'll know who to give them to. Mirio, I will. And thanks for saving Eri. He smiles even in this situation. Izuku, already starting to disappear, I think it's all over. I would have liked to say goodbye to everyone, but what can you do? He looks up from Eri, hey, Eri, don't cry. I hope to see you someday. He hugs her tightly, I'm sorry, Mom, I won't make it to dinner. With tears in his eyes, the hero named Deku disappears from the world. Or does he? In a black and white space, a green-haired person floats, starting to open his eyes. Izuku, where? Where am I? Inspecting the place, I hope everyone's okay. How much time has passed? Looking around, I guess this is heaven. I imagined it would be more colorful. He starts walking, hoping to find something. It can't be completely empty, right? Minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, he doesn't know for sure how much time has passed, still finding nothing in this space. Izuku, I guess this is entirely empty. I wish I could go back, spend time with my friends, with All Might, with Eri, with my mother. He starts to sob, remembering moments when suddenly a light blinds him, and in front of him appears a strange door, but what? Getting up from the ground, he begins to inspect the door. Can it be opened? He opens the door, and inside, nothing can be seen, only an eerie light emanates from it. Izuku, seeing the strange light inside the door, is it calling me? I hope I find someone who can explain what this place is. He proceeds to enter, completely blinded. After entering through that door, his vision becomes blurry, and after a while, he can't see anything. Izuku, where am I? Why can't I open my eyes? Trying to open them, I don't like this. What's happening? Hello? Is anyone there? Suddenly he hears a familiar voice calling him. What? That was my mom? Come on. Wake up. Izuku, already opening his eyes slowly. Where am I? Visualizing the place. This is my room? Question mark. Izuku. Are you okay? I heard you screaming from my room. Did something happen to you? Shaking the green-haired boy. Izuku, Mom? How did I get here? Remembering Eri, and Eri? Where's Eri? Is she okay? Looking at his mother, why does she look younger? Inko, are you sure you're okay? I don't know any Eri, son. It must have been a nightmare. It's better to go to sleep, tomorrow you have to go to daycare, and remember, we're going to the doctor to find out about your quirk, she said half asleep. I'm going to bed, rest, son. Izuku, daycare? I should be at UA, and about going to the doctor, this feels familiar. He looks at his hands and then his whole body. Huh? I'm a child again? How did this happen? Izuku, it must be. No, it can't be. Eri's quirk, rewind, not time travel. I think. Now, how do I deal with this? If this is real, then I've gone back in time. Although, thinking about it, this is a second chance for everything, to not make the same mistakes. This is so confusing. He twists in bed. I'd better sleep and hope this isn't a dream, but if it's not, under my knowledge of future events, I can do the right thing, I can be a better hero. The best of all, he proceeds to fall asleep. Izuku, he's waking up. I had the craziest dream, looking around his room and at his body. Oh. It wasn't a dream, I'm actually in the past, he yelled, holding his head with his hands. Inko, Izuku. Come down, you need to go to daycare. Izuku, coming, Mom. Darn, where was my clothes? Oh yeah, I remember now, today was the day I was supposed to see my quirk. The day my dreams shattered, he sighed. Well, I'm ready for that in my life from now on with Kachan and the others bullying me. What if I had a quirk? Would anything have changed? Well, let's stop thinking about that. Inko, entering Izuku's room. Son, let's have breakfast and then we'll leave. Izuku, okay, Mom, I feel like I should tell her, but I don't know if it'll affect anything. Inko, noticing Izuku lost in thought, is something wrong, Izuku? Izuku, huh? No, nothing, let's eat, I'm hungry leaving his room. And so his day began. Once they had breakfast, they went to daycare, already at the entrance. Izuku, goodbye, Mom. Inko, goodbye, son. Izuku, this brings back so many memories. Then someone calls him. Deku. Izuku, oh no, oh hi, Kachan, how have you been? Bakugo, probably better than you, and tell me, have you awakened your quirk yet? Izuku, not yet, Kachan, but even if I were quirkless, I wouldn't mind, he said with a smile. Bakugo, somewhat shocked by the words, if you're quirkless, you'll just be a stone in my path, and I advise you not to mess with me, or I'll finish you, showing a sadistic smile. Izuku, wow. Did he behave like this even as a kid? I hadn't noticed, whatever you say, Kachan, but I'll definitely be a hero, he said with a smile. Bakugo, TSK, stupid Deku. Teacher, attention, children, we're about to start. Everyone, yes. Time skip to the end of classes. Izuku, in the park near his house, I know what's going to happen, but how will I investigate the Yakuza and find Eri in a few years? Without a quirk, it's very difficult, especially if I'm just a kid. Should I tell All Might, but he won't believe me. How hard? Then he sees Bakugo bothering a black-haired girl, and here we go again. At least I can fight, something is better than nothing. Going to protect the girl and standing in front of her, leave her alone. Kachan, what did she do to you? Bakugo, oh, but if it isn't the stupid quirkless, what do you think I'm doing? She bumped into me and as the next number one, she should know her place, causing explosions in his hands. Izuku, why do I still consider him a friend even with that attitude? He thought, somewhat annoyed and irritated by Bakugo's personality, that's not the attitude of a hero, and if you want to hurt her, you'll have to go through me. Extra 1, do it, Bakugo, so he learns his place. Extra 2, yeah, do it, Bakugo. Bakugo, come on, stupid Deku, sending an explosion towards Deku. Question mark, watch out, the girl who had remained silent during Izuku's presence shouted, concerned. Izuku, you're very predictable, Kachan. He grabbed his right hand and redirected the explosion upwards, then elbowed him in the chest. I don't have much strength. I'm just a kid after all, this will be hard. Bakugo, since when do you know how to fight? Sending more explosions towards Izuku. Izuku, receiving the explosions head on, darn it, then Bakugo threw himself at him and put his leg over Izuku, preventing him from getting up. Let me go, Kachan. Bakugo, listen to me, stupid Deku, stay out of my way and accept that you're useless and will never be a hero. Or else, more explosions will rain down on you, pointing his hand towards Izuku. Izuku, why does this always happen? Why am I so useless? His hands started to emit smoke. For these things, why I'm useless, my mom will worry a lot. Flames were already igniting in his hands. Kachan. I won't be useless anymore. I'll be a hero who will save everyone with a smile. And you won't stop me, sending a blaze towards Bakugo. Bakugo, what the? The blaze hitting him in the stomach. Arg. That hurt, Deku. You and your stupid quirk will never surpass me, remember that. Let's go, extras, it's not worth hitting you, Deku, leaving the park. Izuku, shocked because he has a quirk. I have a quirk. But this wasn't supposed to happen, but who cares, it's awesome, finally, I can fulfill my dream, he exclaimed happily. Right, I almost forgot, going towards the girl who was on the sidelines of the fight. Are you okay? Did Kachan hurt you? Concerned. Question mark, huh? Oh yes, it's nothing, just some scratches, but are you okay? She asked worriedly. Izuku, I'm more than fine, he said with a smile. I awakened my quirk, and what better way than protecting someone? So you protected me even without a quirk? But why? She asked, amazed. Izuku, because that's what a hero does, with a big smile. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself, I'm Izuku Midoriya, and you are? Yui, my name is Yui Kodai, Izuku-kun, she introduced herself, leaving Izuku in a mini shock. Izuku, I knew her face looked familiar. Nice to meet you, Kodai-san. Yui, just call me Yui, we're friends, right? She asked, tilting her head slightly. Izuku, friends. I didn't have friends at this age, although this is a new opportunity, I'll make the most of it, of course, Yui-san. We'll be good friends, showing a big smile. Yui, yes, with a smile equal to Izuku's. Izuku, the past has changed, but I like it. 9 years later after the previous events. Izuku was in his room, reminiscing about all the changes. Who would have thought that just by having a quirk, things would change so much from what they used to be before? I'm not bullied anymore. Kachan is still the same, well, I guess he'll never change, ha. But the best part is that I have a true friend, Yui Kodai. How did I not meet her before? That would have changed a lot of things, but it's not worth dwelling on the past. And the best of all is my pyrokinesis quirk. Thanks to this, I've spent most of my time practicing and perfecting it. I think it's because of my hobby before. I can do several things with my quirk. Sounds weird, ha, he sighed. The downside to all of this is that I haven't been able to find anything about Eri. I'm thinking of becoming a vigilante, maybe I'll find something. Just then, his phone rang. Huh? It's from Yui, he answered. Hello, Yui, is something wrong? Yui, hi, Izuku. I just wanted to remind you that we're going out shopping tomorrow. You haven't forgotten, have you? Izuku, darn it, I forgot. No, of course not, he said nervously. Yui, Izuku, I've known you for 8 years. I can tell when you're lying, she said with her typical calm demeanor. Izuku, I've just been a bit frustrated, and it's not a lie, the Eri situation has kept me up at night several times, he thought, feeling a bit annoyed with himself. Yui, are you okay? If you want, we can cancel the outing, she said, concerned. Izuku, no, Yui, I'm fine. We'll meet at the mall tomorrow at 12, right? Yui, alright, take care, Izuku, she said, saying goodbye and hanging up the call. Izuku, how would my relationship with others have been if they knew I was quirkless? He remembered something. Flashback. In a park, 12-year-old Izuku and Yui are seen. Izuku, hey, Yui, he called out to her. Yui, is something wrong, Izuku? She asked as she approached the green-haired boy. Izuku, if I hadn't had a quirk, would you still be my friend? He asked as he sat under a tree. Yui, why are you asking that? She said as she sat beside him. Izuku, it just crossed my mind, ha, he said nervously. Please answer as honestly as possible, he said, giving her a smile. Yui, slightly blushing, well. Nothing would change. You saved me, and you still do with Bakugo's teasing. You've been my only friend because you don't judge me for my personality. You're my hero, Izuku Midoriya, she said, giving him a sincere smile. Izuku, surprised by her words and shedding a few tears, I see. Thank you very much, Yui. You're my hero too, he said, hugging her, much to her surprise. End of flashback. Izuku, who would have thought that I'm no longer nervous around people? Well, enough of remembering things. Tomorrow I'll go out, and everything will be fine. Just a normal day, he said, proceeding to sleep in his bed. Time skipped to the morning. Izuku, all right, I have everything ready, and there are 30 minutes left. I'll watch something on TV and then. Wait, isn't this a date? He thought nervously. Ah, nerves out. I thought I had overcome this, he said, going to the living room. Let's see what's on. Good thing Mom's away so I can do more things. He turned on the TV. Reporter, in the latest news, there has been a breakout in one of the nearby prisons. We will now name the villains who have escaped. Izuku, oh, I didn't remember this, he said, looking at his phone. Darn it. I'm late. Reporter, and the most dangerous of all, the villain Muz. Being interrupted by Izuku, who turned off the TV. Time skipped to the mall. Izuku, all right, where are you, Yui? He looked around. I should have specified where we would meet, he sighed. Yui, Izuku. Calling out to the broccoli-haired boy. Izuku, oh, there you are, U5, getting lost in Yui's outfit. Izuku, oh, there you are, U5, getting lost in Yui's outfit. Yui, Izuku, are you okay? Waving her hand in front of Izuku's face. Izuku, huh? Oh yeah, I feel great. It's just that you look very pretty, and I got a little nervous, ha ha, scratching the back of his neck and giving a smile. Yui, eh? Blushing, why you look great too, calming down a bit from the compliment. Izuku, really? I don't have much clothes for going out, ha ha. Izuku, well, since we're here, where are we going? He said as he walked alongside Yui in the mall. Yui, well, I was planning on buying some clothes and then going to eat. You know, shopping, eating, and watching a movie, she said in a calm tone. Izuku, so, it's a date, he said without thinking. Yui, well, you could say that, ha ha, twirling her hair nervously. Izuku, darn it, this is a date, he shouted mentally. Quick, Izuku, change the subject, did you see the news? About the escaped villains. Yui, yes, I did. I hope we don't encounter one. They're too dangerous, she said with concern. Izuku, exactly, and besides. And so they continued with their date, shopping, laughing, and having a good time, just a normal day until 5 p.m. They'll have a detailed date later. Izuku, and that's how I set a pool on fire, he said proudly, puffing out his chest. Yui, ha ha ha. I don't know how you do it, but you keep surprising me even more, she said as she wiped tears caused by laughter. Izuku, oh. Now that I remember. Being interrupted by several screams. Civilian, run, there's a villain nearby. Civilian, how long will it take for the heroes to arrive? Yui, they might be one of those escaped villains, she said, worried by the commotion. Izuku, probably. We need to get out of here, he said seriously, grabbing Yui's hand to leave the place. Question mark, don't worry, citizens, we're here to help. A male voice shouted. Question mark, evacuate carefully and assist those in trouble. A female voice said. Civilian, look, it's the hero's water hose, he shouted, catching our protagonist's attention. Izuku suddenly froze. Water hose, aren't they Kota's parents? Then this day. I have to go help them, he thought, alarmed by the situation. Yui, Izuku? Why did you suddenly freeze? We need to go, she said, worried. Izuku, Yui, catching her attention, I have to go. I just remembered something. Stay safe, I'll see you later, hugging her quickly and leaving hastily. I don't have time for explanations, sorry Yui. Yui, Izuku. Worried for the green-haired boy. Izuku, alright, how do I prevent them from discovering me? He thought, while making a mask with the sleeve of his jacket. He only tore the sleeves and joined them to cover his mouth and nose, leaving his eyes visible, pulling down the hood to cover his hair. I hope this is enough to withstand my fire and not expose my identity, as he finished thinking, someone crashed next to him against a wall. Note, I'll divide the names because I can't think of names to differentiate them, so the woman will be Water and the man will be Hose, okay? Okay. Hose, darn, that hit hard, he said, somewhat hurt, but this isn't over. Launching towards the villain. Izuku, he was injured and sent to crash, the villain must be strong. No, it can't be him, he thought, alarmed and reaching the scene of the battle. Muscular. And there was the battle scene in front of him, with Muscular crushing everything in his path, throwing cars at anything he saw, all with a smile on his face. Muscular, come on. Let's go, come on, I'll kill them all, he shouted excitedly as he looked at the police and the hero duo. Police 1, hiding behind a car, crap. Where are the other heroes? He shouted to his partner. Police 2, we were told they are facing the other escaped villains. We're in a tough situation. All of this was heard by our green-haired friend. Izuku, I have to do something, or Kota's parents will die, he thought desperately, devising a plan. I haven't trained my techniques well yet, but I won't fall behind now knowing I have a quirk. Just then, Muscular threw a car at the police. Police 1, I won't be able to dodge it, as the car was about to hit him. It was pulled by chains made of fire, huh? Izuku, it's heavy, I'll return it, throwing the car back at Muscular. Muscular, huh? Being hit by the car Izuku threw. Who the hell was that? Izuku, oh, sorry, my hand slipped, introducing himself to the police, heroes, and Muscular. Muscular, a damn kid? He exclaimed furiously. Water, hey kid, you shouldn't be here, stepping in front of Izuku. Hose, she's right, escape while we distract him, getting into a fighting stance. Izuku, no way. If I leave, they'll die, and they won't be able to take care of Kota, he exclaimed, grabbing the hero's attention. Water, do you know Kota? She asked, doubtful. Izuku, it's hard to explain, let's just say if I leave, something bad will happen, getting into a battle stance. Muscular, enough talking, come and get them to kill them, he shouted as he ran towards the heroes and Izuku. Hose, I don't like involving kids in this, but I see you know what you're doing, and I don't think you want to leave, awaiting Muscular's charge. Water, remember, if this gets more dangerous, run, mimicking her duo's action. Izuku, I don't think that's possible, generating fire in his hands, I just hope I don't burn myself, here we go, charging towards Muscular. Muscular, come on, you trash, sending a punch towards Izuku, but he dodged it by propelling himself upwards with the help of his fire. Izuku, aiming his hands directly at Muscular's face, I hope you don't see after this, throwing fire at his eyes, temporarily blinding him, he's blinded, you can take advantage, repositioning himself. Muscular, damn brat. I'll get you for this, swinging wildly. Hose, we need to take advantage of the kid's opportunity, take this water blast, shooting a powerful water blast at Muscular. Water, I'll immobilize him so he can't move, water chains, summoning chains that grabbed onto Muscular's legs. Muscular, your attacks are weak, enduring Hose's attack and breaking free from the chains. Hose, our attacks don't do much damage, but the kids worked better than our quirk, analyzing the situation, kid, getting Izuku's attention. Izuku, what's up? Positioning himself beside Hose. Hose, your attacks are the only ones that severely hurt him, we'll immobilize him, and you attack with everything you've got, understood? Preparing for the attack. Izuku, understood, mimicking the action. Water, quickly. I can't hold him much longer, being interrupted by a blow from Muscular, sending her crashing into a car. Hose, water, he exclaimed worriedly. Muscular, now it's your turn, appearing in front of Hose and punching him in the stomach, knocking the wind out of him. You're all weak, grabbing him by the face and lifting him in the air. I hope you can handle these hits, and just as he was about to hit him, a water spear lodged into his abdomen. Water spear, exclaimed a tired heroine, throwing more spears at Muscular, but he dodged them. Muscular, now I'll kill you, before charging, he's held by chains of fire. Izuku, don't forget about me, Musclehead, said with exhaustion and a hint of mockery. Muscular, this is nothing, spinning around, grabbing Izuku's chains. Izuku, who, being thrown towards water, crashing into her, GGGHH. I'm pushing myself too hard with my quirk, a bit more and it'll take its toll, he thought worriedly on the ground. Muscular, now I'll finish the useless job, he said, heading towards a semi-conscious Hose. Hose, cursed. Fate, he said, almost unconscious. Muscular, I've been told that already, he said mockingly, I hope you can endure this, he said, preparing a punch. Any last words? He asked, fist in front of the hero. Hose, behind. You, he whispered. Muscular, what? He said, confused. Hose, behind. You, he completed the sentence. Muscular, huh? He turned around, and in that moment, he was hit in the eye by a water spear. Ah! He screamed, letting go of Hose and clutching his now non-existent right eye. Now I'll kill you. Water, Hose. Are you okay? She yelled worriedly as she went to assist him. Hose, run, I won't let him kill you. I'll hold on until reinforcements arrive, he said tiredly. Water, I won't leave you, she shouted, worried and with tears in her eyes. Hose, you have to. Someone has to take care of Kota, he said, preparing himself. Water, he's right. She was interrupted by Muscular. Muscular, I'm done playing. Die, he said, just a few meters away from hitting the hero duo. Hose, so this is how it ends. I'm sorry, Kota, I won't make it for dinner, he thought, resigned to his fate. Water, take care, Kota, she thought, bracing for the blow. You won't do it. Muscular, being hit by a fiery punch, sending him crashing to the ground. Who the hell was that? He exclaimed, annoyed at not finishing the job. Hose, watching the humanoid figure made of fire in front of him. Kid. Is that you? He exclaimed, astonished. Water, sitting on the ground beside Hose, what happened to you? She exclaimed, amazed. Izuku, I don't know, it just happened, he said, looking at his body. Moments before. Izuku, semi-conscious, watching Muscular about to kill Hose, I'm still weak. Even with a quirk, he thought, disappointed in himself. Muscular, I'll kill you, he exclaimed angrily about his eye. Izuku, so that's how it happened, huh? He thought, somewhat amazed. I couldn't do anything. I'm useless again, he thought, angrily observing Muscular heading towards the duo. No. Come on, Izuku, push your limits, he thought furiously at the scene he was about to witness. I'll save them even if I have to sacrifice myself. Suddenly, he was surrounded by flames, which fused with his body, giving him the appearance of pure fire in humanoid form. You won't do it. He propelled himself towards Muscular, unaware of his transformation. Current moment. Izuku, looking at his body. I don't think I can hold this for long. I'll end it with one attack. Cover yourselves, he said, looking at the astonished duo. Muscular, huh? Come here, you little brat. He lunged towards Izuku with total fury. Die. He aimed a punch at Izuku's stomach. Huh? He exclaimed, confused as his fist passed through Izuku's stomach without causing any pain. Izuku, so now I'm pure fire, never heard of that before. Hey, Muscular. He called the villain's attention. Have you heard this phrase? He asked, as he positioned himself over Muscular. Plus. He sent a surge of energy throughout his body. Ultra. He detonated all the accumulated energy, causing a massive explosion. Hose, kid, he shouted worriedly. Water, wait. She watched the smoke dissipate. He won, she exclaimed, seeing Izuku atop Muscular, now with his normal body, raising his fist in the air like All Might's pose. Hose, kid, are you okay? He went to assist him, along with Water. Izuku, I guess so, he said tiredly, sitting on the ground. I'm still alive, although with some burns and a broken arm. Hey, he said, now unconcerned, as Muscular lay unconscious beside him. Water, how do you not have severe injuries? You caused a huge explosion, she said incredulously, seeing that the boy only had first-degree burns and a few second-degree ones. Izuku, I don't even know, he sighed tiredly. I must go before they catch me, he said as he got up. Hose, no way, you must recover first, he said, concerned. Izuku, if I stay, I'll be arrested for illegal quirk usage. Besides, they might punish you for a kid getting involved in this. Just say it was a vigilante, he said, heading home. Darn, I don't think I can hold this much longer, he thought heavily, reaching his limit. Water, wait, she yelled, catching Izuku's attention. What's your name? She asked, uncertain. Izuku, should I tell them? He thought, confused. Well, I trust them, he thought, putting on a smile. Izuku Midoriya, he said with a smile, and please don't tell anyone, he asked in a serious tone. Hose, you have our word. You're our hero, without you, I don't want to think about what would have happened, he thought heavily. Thank you, Midoriya. Izuku, thanks, and do something with him, he pointed at Muscular. We don't want him waking up, right? Well, I must go. We'll meet again, he said, disappearing from view. Hose, he'll be a great hero, he said with a smile in the direction Izuku left. Water, indeed, she said with a smile as she took care of Muscular. Time skip. Izuku, he was now on his street. It's good that I could prevent Kota's parents' murder, he thought with a smile. I just hope nothing changed, he thought, somewhat serious. And about that power, what could it have been? He sighed tiredly. So many things to think about, and I'm about to collapse, he thought nonchalantly, fixing his gaze on his house, noticing a female figure in front of it. Huh? Yui? He said, confused because she was there. Yui, Izuku, she shouted with concern as. We're now in the time when the battle against Muscular was happening. Yui's house. Yui, come on, Izuku, answer, she said worriedly while dialing Izuku's phone, catching her mother's attention. Yui's mother, let's call her Mother Yui since I can't think of names. If you have an idea, leave it for her name. Mother Yui, what's got you so worried, dear? She said, confused by her daughter's attitude. Yui, it's just that when I was on a date with Izuku, suddenly villains attacked. They had escaped recently, and when we were leaving, I don't know what happened, but Izuku went towards the attack, and I'm worried that something might have happened to him, she said with more concern than before. Mother Yui, come on, dear, don't worry. I'm sure he's safe. I don't think he'd rush into battle without thinking about it, she said reassuringly to ease Yui's worry. Yui, that's what worries me, Yui thought since that's one of Izuku's qualities. Mother Yui, let's watch the news. They must have caught the villain by now, right? That way, you won't worry, said the mother as she turned on the TV. Reporter, good afternoon, viewers. Today we're located on the battlefield where the combat between the hero duo Water Hose and the escaped villain Muscular is taking place, she said while recording the moment when Muscular hits Hose and then throws a car towards the police but is caught by Izuku's chains. What's this? Is it a new hero? It seems he has a fire quirk, the reporter commented while recording the new hero. Yui, the mention of the quirk caught her attention. Fire? Izuku's quirk is pyrokinesis. No, it can't be him, she thought alarmed as she focused on the TV. That's not Izuku's clothes? Oh no, what have you gotten yourself into now? She thought even more worried about the green-haired guy. Reporter, it can't be. The villain seems to have defeated the heroes and is torturing them, she said with a fearful tone, causing a dark-haired girl to fill with worry since Izuku couldn't be seen, and the hero duo was in bad shape. But what's that? She said as the camera focused on the flash of fire that hit the villain. Apparently, the hero we're going to call Fyro has gathered even more power to save the duo and defeat the villain, she said happily about the situation, but the dark-haired girl still had her worries. Yui, he's probably injured and hasn't accepted help. I have to go check on him, Mom. A friend asked me to stay at her house to finish a group project, she said, hoping her mother would believe her. Mother Yui, all right, dear, just be careful, and if you see anything suspicious, get out of there and call a hero, she said seriously. Yui, all right, Mom, I hope you're okay, Izuku. Back to the present. Yui, Izuku. Hey, are you okay? She exclaimed worriedly as she helped the green-haired guy who was lying on the ground unconscious. So, it was you who fought the villain. I guess it's my turn to help you, she said as she entered the green-haired guy's house, carrying him. Time skip. Izuku, waking up, my head. How did I get to my room? He said as he looked around his room, and why am I bandaged up? He said as he looked at his body with bandages on his arms, torso, and hands. I better go out to see if there's anyone in my house, he said as he headed towards the dining room. Izuku, hello? It seems like no one's here. At that moment, the front door of the house opened. Yui, she enters while talking on the phone. I told you, Mom, I'll be a little late because of some group work, she said as she looked towards Izuku. I'll call you later, she said as she hung up the phone. Izuku, hello? As Yui approached Izuku, I guess you're the one who took care of me. He was interrupted by a hug from the dark-haired girl. Huh? Yui? He said, puzzled by the hug. Yui, I'm glad you're okay, she said as she continued the hug. Izuku, yeah, why wouldn't I be? He said as he patted Yui on the back. Yui, she let go of the hug and gave him a stern look. It wouldn't be because someone faced a villain when they're just a student, would it? She said sarcastically. Izuku, Yui, what are you talking about? Oh, he said nervously. Yui, Izuku, I'm not stupid. I know you're the one who fought against that villain near the mall 3 days ago, she said, somewhat annoyed. Izuku, how did you know? Wait. You said 3 days ago, he asked nervously and doubtfully. Yui, you've been asleep for 3 days, and I've been taking care of you since you passed out, she said, now less annoyed. Izuku, wow, thank goodness mom's on a trip. I can't hide it anymore. I'm sorry for worrying you, he said with a smile. Yui, it's okay, just promise me you'll be more careful, she said with a smile. Izuku, I promise, he said with a smile directed at Yui. Yui, I'm glad to hear that, she said with a sincere smile. Well, it's getting late. See you tomorrow at school, Mr. Hero? She said teasingly. Izuku, Mr. Hero? Of course, of course. Oh, and before you go, approaching Yui. Yui, what's way being interrupted by a hug from the green-haired guy, Izuku? She said somewhat nervously and slightly blushing. Izuku, thanks for taking care of me. I'll repay you someday, he said with a smile. Yui, consider it done, she said, returning the hug. Izuku, do you want me to walk you home? Yui, don't worry, just rest, okay? See you, saying goodbye and leaving Izuku's house. Izuku, watching the direction Yui went, I still have things to do. I don't think I can keep that promise. After saying that, he went to his room and looked for a notebook under his bed with the letter V on the cover. This could ruin my hero career, but I have 2 more years, and Eri could already be suffering, he said as he looked at the notebook with various information about the places the Yakuza frequented before going back in time. I swear I'll find you, Eri. For you, I'll be a vigilante. Friday, 1 week after Muscular's attack. Yui, she was walking home with Izuku, chatting about anything. And how do you plan to do that? Izuku, if I could set fire to a pool, why not the sea? It's the same, right? Yui, wow, she exclaimed, surprised. What a stupid question, but if it's you, maybe you'll succeed, she said with a smile on her face. Izuku, did you just call me stupid? He exclaimed indignantly. Maybe I am, but changing the subject, you look even prettier when you smile, although your stoic face when you're with others has its charm, he said, waiting for the raven-haired girl's reaction. Yui, blushing slightly. You know I find it hard to socialize, she said embarrassed, looking away. Izuku, come on, I'll always lend you my support. Besides, he said, interrupted by a call on his phone. 1 minute, Yui, checking who was calling. Kachan? He exclaimed, surprised and doubtful since he had never called him before. Yui, him calling you? That's weird, she said with puzzlement. Izuku, let's see what he wants, answering the call. Hey, Kachan, what do you need? Bakugo, hey stupid Deku, the witch told me to tell you to come for dinner on Sunday because your mom asked her to take care of you, he said calmly, strangely. Izuku, right, and Mitsuki is taking care of me while mom is away. Okay, Kachan, I'll be there, he responded. Bakugo, whatever, just don't be late. I need you to be my punching bag, he replied and hung up. Izuku, okay? That was weird, he said. Yui, what's your relationship like now? You told me before that you were childhood friends, right? She asked, tilting her head. Izuku, you're not wrong, and I think he considers me as rival now or just a wall to knock down, he said casually. Yui, considering the times you've fought and won every time, she spoke of the various fights these two had, where Izuku emerged victorious due to his vast experience. Izuku, maybe, he replied. But when it comes to Kachan, who knows, he said, shrugging. Oh, we're here, he said as they reached Yui's house. Yui, don't you want to come in for a bite to eat? Mom will surely be glad to see you, she said, hoping the green-haired boy would accept. Izuku, I have things to do, but maybe another time, he replied. Give my regards to Aunt Yoko, he said as he bid farewell and left for home. Note, thanks to Undersanas, L_Borrow2, and Starm for the names for Yui's mother. I'll use the ones that weren't chosen for other characters in the future. Thank you very much. Yui, another time then, she said with a smile towards where the green-haired boy had gone and proceeded to enter her house. I'm home, Mom. With the green-haired boy. Izuku, today I start as a vigilante. Is it the right thing to do? He said, confused by the decision but remembered a white-haired girl with horns. Of course it is. I promised to save her, and I will, he exclaimed with determination. I'm lucky Mom is away. She's doing well, and I'm glad for that. She couldn't before because of my condition. These changes. They're not bad at all, he said with a smile on his face as he entered his house and headed to his room. Izuku, let's see what clothes I can wear. Something not too flashy, he said as he searched through his clothes. A dark green jacket and a black hoodie, quite discreet, he said as he put on the mentioned garments. And a black face mask. All right, I've got everything. Now, where should I go? He said as he took out his notebook containing different locations. Musetafu, Hasu, and around Night Eye's agency. Although I know where the Yakuza base is, I don't know if they inhabit it now, and if they do, it would be suicide to go there. First, I'll gather information to see if they're there, and at the same time, I'll search for clues about low-profile villains or weak ones that are related to them. So, I'll start with Musetafu. Well, here I go, he exclaimed as he left his home, jumping from house to house fueled by his fire. Izuku, flying would be very useful, but I don't know how to do that yet, he exclaimed as he headed towards the city center in the middle of the night. Alley in the center of Musetafu. Civilian, sorry. Just let me go. I'll give you everything, he exclaimed, scared in an alley because of the situation. Thief 1, you've seen our faces, you won't leave here unharmed, he exclaimed with a smile, using his quirk to turn his hands into claws. Thief 2, so, you know what's going to happen, said the other thief as lights emanated from his fingers. I think it's time to inter, he was interrupted by a scream. Izuku, hey! What do you think you're doing? He said as he landed next to the situation. Thief 1, who the hell are you? A kid? Thief 2, ha ha ha, just a damn kid. What are you gonna do? Call your ma, he was interrupted by a fist hitting his face. Thief 1, you damn brat. He lunged at Izuku with his claws. Izuku, you're too slow. He dodged a punch, ducked, and performed a sweep, knocking the man to the ground. Taking advantage of this, he created chains of fire to immobilize the thief. Interesting, said a man standing on a building next to the alley where the fight was taking place. Thief 2, you won't be able to handle this. He stood up and shot lasers from his fingers at Izuku. Izuku, time to try this, he raised his hand and generated a wall of fire to protect himself from the lasers. Well, that works. Now, to finish this, he propelled himself up the walls, reaching the thief 2 and delivering a downward kick to his head, knocking him out. Oops, went a bit overboard. Hey, are you all right? He said, turning to the civilian who was hiding behind a dumpster. Civilian, who are you? He said, less scared. Izuku, just someone who wants to do good, but in short, I'm a vigilante. Now, call the police so they can take these guys, he said, pointing to the chained thief and the other unconscious one. Civilian, okay, he said as he contacted the police. Izuku, let's see, he said as he approached the immobilized thief. Do you know anything about the Yakuza? He said with a stern look, sending a chill down the thief's spine. Thief 1, I don't know anything, and I don't care. Izuku, he continued to stare at him. It's clear you know nothing. Well, I better go. These chains will disappear when the police arrive, he said as he propelled himself up onto the building. Civilian, thank you so much for saving me, he shouted gratefully to the vigilante. Izuku, it feels so good to save someone, although I haven't found any clues yet. It's the first night, but I'll strive to find them, he said with a smile on his face as he leapt between buildings, looking for more situations to save people. He seems not dangerous, but I'll keep an eye on him, exclaimed the unknown person as he propelled himself with his bandages. Teacher, hey guys, I want all the guides by next Friday. Javidarov, looking at the 10 guides with a topic never explained in class. Damn it. Now my hands hurt. Insert crying emoji, but let's stop talking about the guides because they traumatize me. Let's start with a chapter. Insert cool emoji. One Sunday morning. Izuku, half asleep in his room. Kill me, he said tiredly. I shouldn't have patrolled until 8 a.m. and only slept for 3 hours, he said, getting up and tidying his room. I still haven't found anything, but I know I will, he exclaimed with determination. Plus, I've felt like I'm being watched. I should be more careful. He finished tidying up and headed to the living room. Let's see what's on, he said, turning on the TV while making breakfast. Reporter, and that's how All Might always saves the day. In other news, there's a rumor about a new vigilante protecting the streets of Musetafu. He's saved several people, and we actually have one who was saved by him. The camera focused on the civilian. What can you tell us about this vigilante? Civilian, he saved me from some muggers. He was really cool. His fire quirk makes him very flashy, he exclaimed, appreciating his hero. Izuku, oh, he was the first one I saved. I hope he didn't see too much to avoid being discovered, he said while devouring his breakfast. Reporter, any more details? What was his name? Civilian, I couldn't find out his name. He saved me and then left. All I know is that his quirk has to do with fire and he made several chains of it. Reporter, thank you very much, and there you have it, a new vigilante has landed on the streets. Will the heroes take action? Or will he continue saving people from tragedies? Stay tuned for more information. Izuku, I should come up with a name, the green-haired one said, finishing his breakfast. I should go to Kachan's house at 8 p.m. I have too much time. What should I do in the meantime? He said, uncertain. I'd like to learn to fly, but every time I try, I fall flat on my face, he said, with some pain in his voice from previous attempts. I know. If I can't fly, I'll just swing with my chains. It shouldn't be difficult, right? I'll try it when I can, he exclaimed with excitement. Time skip. Izuku, heading to Bakugo's house. What name should I use as a vigilante? Something related to my quirk, right? Ugh. This is too hard, he thought, frustrated, already standing in front of the house. Well, I'll think about it later, he said, ringing the doorbell and being greeted by Bakugo's mother. Hi, Aunt Mitsuki. Greeted the green-haired one. Mitsuki, hi, Izuku-chan, come on in, we've been waiting for you, she said, leading the way to the dining room with Izuku. Izuku, thank you very much for inviting me, he said cheerfully. Mitsuki, don't worry, your mother left me in charge, and it's always good to have you here. So Katsuki calms down a bit. Izuku, arriving at the dining room, seeing Bakugo's father and Bakugo. Hi, Uncle Masaru and Bakugo, he said, greeting those present. Masaru, hi, Izuku, he said, serving dinner. Bakugo, not responding to the greeting after this. I have to tell you something, Deku, he said, looking at the green-haired one. Izuku, okay? He responded, confused by what was said. Mitsuki, dinner is ready. Time skip. Izuku, that was really good, and Mitsuki, he said once dinner was finished. Bakugo, getting up from the table. I'll wait for you outside, he said, heading towards the yard. Izuku, what's wrong with him? He said, confused by the blonde's attitude. Mitsuki, I don't know, he's been like this since morning, she said, just as confused as the green-haired one. Masaru, you better go quickly, Izuku, you know he's not very patient. Izuku, right. Heading to the yard. In the yard. Izuku, what's going on, Bah, dodging a punch from Bakugo aimed at his face. What the? Dodging another? Why are you attacking me? He exclaimed, getting into a defensive stance. Bakugo, I want to know the distance between us, he said, copying Izuku's action. Izuku, what are you talking about? He said, dodging Bakugo's punches. Bakugo, TSK. Stop dodging, he said, feinting and creating an opening in Izuku, then taking advantage to kick Izuku's arm. Izuku, blocking the blow. If that's what you want, he said, grabbing Bakugo's leg, pulling him closer, and punching him in the face. There's no need to fight, Bakugo. Bakugo, there is a reason. How can I surpass All Might if I can't even beat you? He exclaimed furiously. Izuku, surprised Bakugo. Thinking, so you see me as a hurdle to overcome. If that's what you want, I'll play along, then come and show that they're not just words. Exclaiming as he charges at Bakugo. Bakugo, blocking a punch from Izuku and returning one to his ribs, which is blocked by Izuku's legs. Thinking, TSK, I won't beat him like this, grabbing Izuku by the arms and headbutting him, leaving the green-haired one disoriented, then taking advantage and punching him in the stomach. Izuku, thinking, you don't account for something, Bakugo, and that's experience, retaining Bakugo's punch, then sweeping his legs, and just as Bakugo is about to fall, Izuku knees him, leaving him breathless, while holding him in a lock to prevent him from getting up. You lost, are you satisfied? Note, Izuku literally has more than 20 years of experience, can defeat anyone in his class in hand-to-hand combat without using quirks, advantage of not losing his memories. And perfecting his fighting style. Bakugo, TSK, of course, now I know I have to become stronger to surpass you, stupid nerd. Izuku, I thought you'd scream more. Bakugo, what did you say? Izuku, forget it, saying as he gets up and shakes Bakugo's hand. So, are we rivals then? Bakugo, I'll defeat you, no matter what it takes, accepting Izuku's hand. Izuku, I guess that's a yes. Well, we better head back, heading towards the house. At the house. Reporter, now we're near 62nd Street, where there was a robbery by some kind of gang. The strangest thing is that when a hero was fighting them, his quirk disappeared because of a bullet, but there's no need to worry, it only lasted a few minutes, she said, as all of this was heard by a green-haired person entering the house. Izuku, they've started experimenting with Eri? Thinking, worried by what he heard, I should go, maybe I'll find something, I'm leaving, and. Not waiting for a response, he quickly left the house. Elsewhere. These bullets work just as you said, sir, the person said to someone in front of them. So Overhaul was telling the truth. These quirk-nullifying pistols will undoubtedly be special, although the manufacturing method is a bit sad, he said, watching a screen showing a bandaged, white-haired girl covered in blood. With this, society will fall, everyone will experience what it's like to be quirkless, everyone will suffer as I suffered, he said, as the silhouette of a young man with the appearance of a 20-year-old, black hair, eyes of the same color, and an elegant suit was shown. And when that happens, it will be up to us to show them what the real world is like. 62nd Street, Musatafu 9 p.m. Izuku, jumping through the buildings, let's go, where are they? He searched, looking everywhere for the thieves, they're my only clues, I can't lose them, he thought desperately, fixing his gaze on an abandoned building, managing to see a shadow, maybe it's them, I'll go check, he said, heading towards the building, followed by a silhouette. And now what trouble are you getting into? Izuku, placing himself next to a window to eavesdrop on their conversation, I hope it's them, he thought frustrated. How much did we steal, Future? He asked his partner. Future, we stole more than expected, this will definitely help us, Steal, he said, revealing the other thief's name. Steal, this bullet really helped, where did the boss get it from? He said as he looked at the mentioned item. Future, no idea, but I hope they give us more, it will definitely be useful. Izuku, they know something, it might be something stupid but I won't let them escape, he entered through the window and quickly tried to land a blow on Future. Future, dodging the blow, so there you are, he said seriously. Izuku, he dodged it, he thought amazed. Steal, we have to go. More heroes might come, he shouted nervously to his partner. Future, don't worry, I saw it and no one will come, besides, he's just a kid vigilante, he said, getting into a battle stance. Izuku, well, this kid will make you talk, he said, mimicking his opponent's action. Steal, need a hand? Or do you want him for yourself? Future, leave it, he's all mine, he said, waiting for the freckled boy's attack. Steal, whatever, just hurry, I don't want any heroes showing up. Izuku, enough talking, launching himself at Future, attempting to kick his right side. Future, right, blocking the attack with his arms, sweep, dodging Izuku's sweep by jumping over him, stomach punch, stopping the green-haired boy's fist. What's wrong? I thought you were stronger, he said in a mocking tone. Izuku, he's predicting all my moves, letting go of Future and backing away to reposition himself, it must be some kind of prediction quirk or something. How do I beat that? He thought nervously about the situation he got himself into. Future, seeing the pensive vigilante, I see you're trying to figure out my quirk, huh? He asked, waiting for the vigilante's reaction, which got him worked up. Seems like I'm right, let's just say you won't be able to defeat me. Future's quirk, can see 5 seconds into the future, with no usage limit. Izuku, then I'll attack with everything I've got, he said, pulling out the fire chains while his feet ignited with flames, increasing his speed. You must have a limit, everyone does, he said, renewing the fight. Future, again, from the right, grabbing the chain aimed at his rib but burning his hand in the process and quickly letting go. Ow. Left, he said, protecting himself from the other chain but getting his hand caught. Izuku, immobilizing Future's left arm, maybe you can predict my moves, but if your reaction is too slow, it won't help you at all. With his free chain, he tried to grab his right arm, succeeding, and now, with Future immobilized, he tried to land an upward kick to his jaw but suddenly his vision turned black. Huh? I can't see, he said alarmed. Steal, of course you can't see, because I stole your sight, he said as he approached the battlefield. Steal's quirk, can steal the senses of anyone he wishes, such as vision, hearing, smell, touch, and taste, making them his own, Can only steal 1 cent at a time and only from one person. Future, TSK, I didn't need your help. Freeing himself from the chains and massaging his wrists, this burns, he said with some pain. Steel, how could a kid almost beat you in less than 10 minutes? He said mockingly. Izuku, I can't see. What do I do now? He thought in desperation. Future, this kid is like he's too experienced, but well, let's finish this before more come, he said, taking a course towards Izuku, who was standing still doing nothing. Izuku, darn, swinging towards where he heard footsteps. Future, easily dodging, this won't last long, throwing punches at Izuku, knocking him to the ground. Come on, defend yourself. Izuku, come on. How do I get out of this? Suddenly when everything turns dark, a flame ignites. Is that body heat? Unable to think of anything else because someone else entered the battle scene. You were very reckless to enter without knowing their quirks, said the silhouette that looked like a vagabond with bandages. Future, and who are you? Erased, nobody in particular, using his quirk on the thieves, returning Izuku's sight. Izuku, huh? I can see again, seeing the silhouette as someone he knew well, Aizawa-sensei? He said in a whisper, unintentionally heard by the mentioned. Erased, seems like you know me, kid, said while still looking at the pair. Steel, it's Erased Head, the eraser hero, we're in trouble, he said, getting into a battle stance. Future, TSK, I'll take care of him once he stops using his quirk on you, take his sight away, he said, trying to punch Erased, who dodged him easily. Erased, kid, grabbing Izuku's attention, take care of the other one. As he said this, he went to confront Future. Izuku, okay, he said and went towards Steel. With Erased and Future. Future, TSK, too agile, trying to punch Erased, who dodged him. Even with my quirk, it would be complicated, and besides, I'm still sore from those chains. Erased, let's finish this, he said, grabbing Future's arm, making a simple move to immobilize him and tying him up with his bandages. If you were with your quirk, this would take longer, he said with annoyance while looking at the immobilized Future. Now where are you, kid, he said when he heard a sound near the window leading to an alley. Oh no, upon looking, he saw the vigilante massacring Steel. With Izuku and Steel 10 minutes earlier. Izuku, come on, get over here, he shouted as he chased Steel who was escaping. Steel, I need to take him far away, steal his sight, defeat him, and go for Erased, he said as he reached the alley. Now, he said, stealing the vigilante's sight, you never learn, do you? He said in a mocking tone. Izuku, damn it, where did they get the bullets from? He shouted everywhere since he couldn't see anything. Steel, why do you care about those bullets? They'll be a great tool to bring the end of heroes and villains. Izuku, at least do you know how they make them? He asked furiously about the villain's thoughts. Steel, maybe my friend doesn't, but I do. I won't tell you now, but I want to see your face when you find out. I only know that they're made with a little girl's blood, if you saw the videos. Izuku, and you don't care about that? She's just a girl, he exclaimed furiously. Steel, she's just a tool for a better world, he said this while Izuku was furious. She's not a normal person anymore, she stopped being one when she became a tool. Izuku, already furious with what he said, his sight which was nullified, managed to see the body heat of a person, burning his eyes in the process. Shut up, furious, he lunged at Steel, delivering a strong blow to his chest, knocking the air out of him, and then grabbing him by the chains and immobilizing him on the ground. Steel, how can you see? Interrupted by a strong blow to the face, causing blood to flow from his nose and mouth. Izuku, where is it? Sending another blow to his face. Where is your boss? Where are the Yakuzas? Where is Eri? Blow after blow he leaves Steel unconscious, but he kept hitting him until his arm was held by a bandage. Erased, calm down, said in a serious tone. Izuku, already returning his sight, he saw what he had done. Sitting down and leaning against a wall, I just want to know where she is, he said in a subdued tone. Erased, seems like you have problems, he said as he looked at Steel who had his face almost deformed and his arms with burns caused by the chains. Izuku, I think so, he said in a sad tone. Is he going to turn me in? I don't feel like escaping right now. Erased, the police won't take long to come, they would in moments like this, but I've been watching you these days and you're not that bad, surprising Izuku, but you have to answer my questions. Izuku, if that sets me free, I'll do it, I can trust Aizawa-sensei, he thought confidently about the dark-haired man. Erased, wait for me on the rooftop and don't even think about escaping, he said as the police arrived and picked up the villains, taking them away. Izuku, I didn't expect to encounter him so soon, he said as he climbed the building. I really didn't want to do that, he said as he thought about the scene where he massacred Steel. I don't know what to think, he said with his spirits low. Then his phone vibrated. Huh? A call from Yui?